Hello guys, welcome to Quiet Mind Fast Rider. This is going to be a city rider flow, so we're going to be focusing on the areas we use a lot riding around town. We'll start with some breath awareness to train this technique so we can become more aware when riding. Then we'll move through a warm-up and a few sequences focusing on twisting, balance, flexibility, and some strength. So let's get ready to start and see you on the mat. So let's begin by finding a comfortable seat, making sure both your hips are sitting nice and flush with the ground. Begin to notice your breath and take a big inhale through the nose and out the mouth, sigh it out. Now let your breath return to normal, no control, breathing in and out through the nose. Notice how your breath is. Start noticing your body, if there's any tension, and begin to breathe into those areas where you feel tension to release it. And now start to bring your right hand next to your hips, and inhale, lift your left arm up, and as you exhale you start stretching to the side to your right. Feel all that stretch in your left torso. And inhale, come back up, lift both your arms up, bring your left hand next to you and take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you side stretch to the left. You can feel all that stretch in your right side of your torso. And inhale, come back up. Now set your right hand on your left knee and place your left hand behind you and start twisting from your chest. Take an exhale and twist a little deeper. And as you inhale, bring your gaze to the front and slowly start to unwind. Now the same thing on the other side, so bring your left hand to your right knee, bring your right arm behind your hip bone and start twisting from the chest, and maybe bring your gaze to the back of your space. Take one last exhale here, twist a little deeper, and as you exhale you bring your gaze to the front and slowly start to unwind. And now coming up to all fours to tabletop position, so you're going to bring your hands and below your shoulders, so your wrists are going to be just below your shoulders and your knees are going to be below your hips. And as you inhale, you bring your head up and you drop your belly So you arch your back, and as you exhale, you bring your head down and lift your back up, curving it up. And now do a few more on your own. And now coming back into a neutral spine, back to tabletop position. Now coming into a plank, lifting your knees from the ground. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you're gonna lift your hips up into a downward facing dog. Take an inhale here, stretch back, and as you exhale, walk your feet to the top of the mat into a forward fold. And now as you inhale, you lift halfway up so you can bring your hands on your shins just below your knees. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, come down into a forward fold again. Now inhale, bring your arms up. Put your palms together, maybe bend a little bit backwards. And as you exhale, you bring your hands to your sides, palms facing the front, into mountain pose. Take a few breaths here, feel the feet on the ground, feel your body here in this beginning warm-up. Now as you inhale, bring your hands back up, and as you exhale, you're gonna twist to your right, bringing your right arm behind you and your left arm in front of you in a T position, making sure you're twisting from the chest up. And on your next inhale, bring your arms back up, and as you exhale, you twist to the left, bringing your right arm in front and your left arm back. On your next inhale, bring your arms back up, and as you exhale, you forward fold. Inhale halfway up, and as you exhale, you come into a plank position. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you come down into your belly. And as you inhale, you're gonna lift your chest up and rotate to the right. So it's a cobra twist to the right. And as you exhale, you come back down into your belly, and then you inhale, lift your chest up and twist to the left. So cobra twist to the left. And as you exhale, you come back down, and as you inhale, you lift your chest up through the middle into a traditional cobra. And as you exhale, you lift your hips up into downward facing dog. And now we're gonna flow through that sequence a little bit faster, so one breath, one movement. So take an inhale, stretch back, and as you exhale, you come to the top of the mat, and as you inhale, you lift halfway up, and as you exhale, you forward fold. Now inhale, coming back up, and exhale, twist to the right in a T position. Inhale, back up, exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, exhale, coming back down to plank, coming down into your belly. Inhale, cobra twist to the right. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale, cobra twist to the left. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale, cobra up the middle. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here, stretch back, and as you exhale, come to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, coming down into plank, coming down to your belly. Inhale, cobra twist to the right. Exhale, down. Inhale, cobra twist to the left. Exhale, down. Inhale, cobra up the middle. Exhale, downward facing dog. And coming back into your breath, make sure your breath is still nice and even. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And now moving on, take an inhale, stretch back, and as you exhale, come to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold, and start bending your knees. And as you inhale and lift your arms up, make sure your weight is on your heels. So a nice way to test this out is make sure that you can lift all your toes from the ground. Now bring your hands together at your chest, and then you're gonna put your left tricep on your right knee and twist to the right, and make sure both your knees are aligned, so the left knee has a tendency to go forward, so make sure both knees are aligned. And the same thing on the other side, you're going to bring your right tricep to your left knee and use your hands as leverage to twist back to your left side, making sure both your knees are aligned. Take an exhale here to twist further, and on your next inhale, coming back to chair pose with your arms up. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. And as you exhale, you come into plank, and on the same exhale, you lower down slowly to the bottom of a push-up. And as you inhale, you lift your chest up into upward facing dog. Then you exhale into downward facing dog. Now as you inhale, you bring your right leg up parallel to the floor. And as you exhale, you bring it between your hands in the front of the mat in a runner's lunge. And now bringing your back foot flat on the floor. And as you inhale, you come up into Warrior 1. Make sure your front knee is right above your front ankle, and that both your hips are facing the front of the mat, or they are in a neutral position. Your chest is facing the front. Taking an inhale here, and as you exhale, you interlace your hands behind your back. And as you inhale, you bring your chest up. And as you exhale, you bring your head on the inside of your right leg with the arms still stretching up. And this is called the humble warrior. Exhale here, and as you inhale, you come back up into Warrior 1. Now straighten your front leg. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you fold over your front right leg. Make sure your back heel is nice and flat on the ground, it's not lifting up. And you can have a little bend on your front knee, it doesn't have to be totally straight, but this is a great stretch for the hamstring, and this is called the pyramid pose. Now inhale halfway up, and then lifting your right arm up into a T position, and this is called the twisting triangle. Make sure your right shoulder is right above your left shoulder, and try to stretch back as if you're leaning your back against the wall. Take an inhale here, maybe opening up a bit further, and as you exhale, bring your right arm down back into pyramid pose, and now start bending your front knee and start lifting your back foot up. And then you inhale, you bring your right arm up into twisting half moon, making sure your back toes are facing the ground and flexing, so making sure your hips are neutral. Take an inhale here and start lowering your back foot down back into warrior one. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you vinyasa, coming down, lowering on the same out breath. And as you inhale, you come into upward facing dog, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. Now as you inhale, you lift your left leg up, and as you exhale, you bring your foot between your hands to the top of the mat into a runner's lunge. Then setting your back foot down at a 45-degree angle, and as you inhale, you come back into a warrior one. Again, making sure your front knee is right above your front ankle, and that your chest and your hips are facing the front of the mat, so everything is in neutral. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you interlace your hands behind your back, and as you inhale, you look up, and as you exhale, you bring your hand inside your left leg into humble warrior. On your next inhale, come back into warrior one. Straighten your front leg and take an inhale here, stretch back, and as you exhale, you fold over your front leg, both hands on the ground into a pyramid pose. And as you inhale, you lift halfway up, bring your left arm up into a T position, into a twisting triangle on the other side. Take an inhale here, maybe opening up through the chest a bit more. And as you exhale, bring your left arm down and then start lifting your back foot up. Bring the left arm up back into a T position, making sure your toes are pointing down and your hips are neutral, and back into twisting half moon on the other side. Another great twisting and balancing pose. Take an inhale here, maybe opening up the chest a bit more, and as you exhale, bring the left arm down and start slowly bringing the back foot down and back into warrior one. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you vinyasa down, and on the same exhale down into the bottom of the push-up. And as you inhale, you come into upward facing dog, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. Now as you inhale, you lift your right leg up, and as you exhale, you bring it between your hands, the front of the mat, into a runner's lunge. And as you inhale, you come up into a crescent lunge or high lunge, making sure your front knee is above your ankle and your back foot is lifted. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you set your back foot down and you come into a warrior two. Make sure your front knee is right above your ankle and that your back foot is slightly in at a 45-degree angle. And both your arms are nice and straight, going in opposite directions with the palms facing down. And now flip your front palm up, and as you inhale, you come back into a reverse warrior, bringing your left hand on your chin and stretching out the whole right side of the torso. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you're going to bring your right arm down on the outside of your front right foot. If this is not accessible, you can always bring your forearm to your thigh and lift away from it, so making sure your shoulder is not collapsing into your thigh, and bringing your left arm up and forward, making a straight line from your back ankle all the way up to your fingertips into extended side angle. Now inhale back into warrior two. Straighten your front leg, and as you inhale, you start reaching forward, and as you exhale, you drop your right hand to your ankle and lift your left arm up into a T position, and this is called a triangle pose. Take a few breaths here, making sure you're opening the chest more and more. Now start bending the front knee and lift your back foot up, and coming into half moon, make sure your toes are pointing to the left side of the space. You can have your bottom hand on the floor or onto a block to make the ground come closer to you. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you lower slowly back into warrior two. As you inhale, you reverse the warrior, and as you exhale, vinyasa into chaturanga, and as you inhale, you come into upward facing dog, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. Now inhale the leg up, and as you exhale, set it between your hands in the front of the mat into runner's lunge. Now inhale into crescent pose. Make sure your knee is above your ankle and your back foot is lifted. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you set the back foot down and come into warrior two. Again, making sure your front knee is right above your ankle and your back foot is turned inwards at a 45-degree angle. Both your arms are nice and straight and pointing in opposite directions, palms facing down. And as you inhale, you reverse the warrior, bringing your right hand on your back shin and lifting the left arm up and back, feeling that stretch on the left side of your torso. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you bring your left hand outside of your left foot. Again, option here to bring your forearm on top of your thigh and lifting away from it, making sure your shoulder is not collapsing into it, and your right arm up and to the front of the space, making a nice straight line from your back ankle all the way up to your fingertips. Now inhale back into Warrior 2, straighten your front leg, and then as you inhale you start reaching forward, and as you exhale you bring your left hand to your ankle and lift your right arm up back into a T position and back on to triangle on the other side. Now start bending the front knee and slowly lifting your back foot up, making sure your back toes are pointing to the right side of the space. Keeping your arms in a T position, you can have your bottom hand either on the ground or on the block. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you bring your back foot down gently and back into Warrior 2. Now inhale, reverse the Warrior, and as you exhale, you cartwheel the hands down into Chaturanga Vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Now inhale the right leg up, and as you exhale, you bring it to the front of the mat between your hands. And as you inhale, you come back up into crescent pose. And as you exhale, you're going to shoot up your back foot into Warrior 3, and you can have your arms to the front of the space, or you can have them to your sides, or even having your hands at your chest. So you're gonna have your back toes pointing down, so your hips are in neutral. Warrior 3 is another great balancing and strengthening pose. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you bring your back foot down next to your right foot and bring your hands next to you back into mountain pose. And now bringing your weight to your left foot, you're gonna lift your right foot up and place the bottom of your foot on the inside of your thigh and opening up your right knee to the right side of the space. And as you find your balance here, you can start lifting your arms up. So this is called a tree pose. Find a point in front of you that you can steady your gaze at. This will help you with your balance. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you can start bringing your arms down and bringing your foot back down. Now inhale your arms all the way up. And as you exhale, you forward fold. Inhale halfway up, exhale coming into plank and down into your bottom of a push-up. And as you inhale, you upward facing dog. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Now inhale the left leg up. Exhale, set it in front of your mat, in between your hands, runner's lunge. And as you inhale, you come into crescent. And as you inhale, you bend the back leg down a bit. And as you exhale, you shoot up into Warrior 3. Make sure your back toes are pointing down, your hips are neutral. And then you can have your arms facing the front of the space, or you can have them by your side at airplane arms, or you can have your hands together at your chest. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you bring your back foot down next to your left foot and bring your hands to your sides. You can start lifting your left foot up and bringing the bottom of the foot to the inside of your right thigh and opening up the left knee to the left side of the space. Once you find your balance here, you can start lifting your arms up and back into tree pose. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you can start bringing your arms down and your foot down and back into mountain pose. And as you inhale, you can bring your hands up and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, vinyasa, coming down into chaturanga, bottom of a push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Make sure again the breath is nice and steady. And now as you inhale, you come into plank. And as you exhale, you lower it slowly to the ground. And now bringing your forearms on the ground, parallel next to each other like railroad tracks. Making sure your elbows are just below your shoulders. And you're gonna start sending your chest up and forward between your shoulder blades and your arms. And this is called the Sphinx pose. And now slowly start coming back up and bringing your knees as wide as the mat and your two big toes together. And you're gonna send the hips back and sending the arms to the front of your mat and lowering down your chest to the ground into child's pose. This is a great counter stretch from the previous Sphinx, which was a back bend, and a great pose to relax and start feeling your breath and your heartbeat calming down after those sequences, which might have raised your heartbeat and your pulse. Now coming back up and bring your legs to the front of the mat, sitting down. Bringing your right leg up and placing your right foot on the outside of your left knee. Now bring the right tricep to the inside of your right knee and the left hand behind you, twisting to the left. Make sure your spine is nice and long. Exhale, twist a bit further, and as you inhale, bring your gaze to the front and unwind, bringing both legs back to the front of the mat. Now same thing on the other side, bring your left leg up and place your left foot on the outside of your right knee. Bring the left tricep on the inside of the left knee and place your right hand behind you, twisting to the right, again making sure your spine is nice and long and that you're twisting from the diaphragm up. Exhale, twist a bit further, and as you inhale, bring your gaze to the front and unwind, bringing both your legs back to the front of the mat. Your back is straight, and as you inhale, you bring both your arms up, and as you exhale, you fold forward and you can grab whatever you can. Maybe it's the bottom of your feet or your shins or your ankles, and just start folding forward, making sure your chest is trying to reach the legs and not the head. And with each inhale, you extend the spine long, and with each exhale, you fold a bit deeper. Now slowly coming back up, lay down on your mat, bring your feet closer into your hips, set the arms down by your sides and lift the hips up into bridge pose. And you can stay here, or you can interlace your hands and bring your shoulders underneath. Make sure you're using your glutes to push the hips up and that the weight is on your shoulders and not on your neck. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you can lower gently down your hips to the ground. And now sending your legs to the front and opening them wide and bringing your arms next to you wide as well. Take as much space as you need. Make sure your palms are facing up. And into the final position, Shavasana. So here you want to make sure you are fully relaxed and comfortable. Notice where there is tension or you're not completely letting go, and adjust to make sure you are completely relaxed. Once you find the position that you are really letting go, take a big inhale through the nose and out the mouth, sigh it out, let it go, releasing all the other tension. And now just letting your breath coming back to normal with no control. Start noticing your breath in your body, relaxing. Once the mind starts going somewhere else and thinking other things and other thoughts, just coming back into the breath and your body Do a scan through the body, throughout from the bottoms of the feet all the way up to the top of the head, making sure no other tension has risen up, and if it has, just breathe into it and let it go. Now gently start bringing the awareness back into the space and into your body. Gently start wiggling the fingertips and the toes. Bring your arms up, interlace your fingers, and take a big stretch like you're stretching in the morning, and bringing your knees to your chest and gently rocking back into a comfortable seat and keeping the eyes closed. Just notice your breath and the effects that practice had on you. When thoughts arise, as they normally do, just coming back into the breath, and that's your anchor, that's your still point. And when you're ready, you can gently start opening the eyes. And thank you for your practice. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time here on the mat.